Jennifer Bellamy here. Thank you so much for being with us. We have a very special guest to introduce you to, someone who really doesn't need an introduction, three-time Olympian, 4 medals, Olympic medals, including gold, the first African-American woman to win an individual Olympic medal, member of the Magnificent Seven from the 1996 Olympic Games here in Atlanta. Dominique Dawes, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
I know it's probably a very busy time of year for you with the games going on in Paris. What's your take on all the action you've seen so far?
It is wonderful to be on the other side now and to be a fan of the Olympic Games. I have been traveling a little bit with my family, and so we have been enjoying the Olympic Games, watching from synchronized swimming to 3-on-3 basketball, of course watching gymnastics, men's and women's, and we're building some amazing family memories, and my kids are having a blast.
I know that gymnastics is what a lot of people know you for. There's so much other than that. We'll get to that in just a little bit, but what is your take on what we've seen, especially with the women's gymnastics and Simone Biles and all the incredible things she's done?
Yes, Simone Biles has been a phenomenal leader for Team USA. She has been very vocal about everything about the sport of gymnastics and trying to make sure it's a positive experience for all. What I love about Simone is I just saw her do a vault. Afterwards, she gave a high five to a Brazilian competitor and then continued to smile and enjoy her experience. And I think that's what's so great is back in the day in the 90s when I was competing at the 96 Olympic Games in Atlanta or 92 in Barcelona or 2000 in Sydney, we really were in the zone and had blinders on and forgot about the fact that these competitors are very much our friends. And I love seeing that now. It looks as if Team USA is really enjoying the experience.
Speaking of the 1996 Olympic Games here in Atlanta, what's maybe one of your best memories or something that really stands out to you from your time here in Atlanta during that period?
Oh my goodness. You know, I would have to say it would be the redemption from my fall. I think a lot of people remember the Magnificent Seven when we won a gold medal. It was the first ever women's American team to win a gold medal. However, days later, I fell in the all-around competition. It was really a dark moment for me in my athletic career at that time. But then years later, it became a wonderful lesson in life, and it's helped build my character and shape me into the wife that I am today, the mom that I am today, and the entrepreneur that I am today. So when I look back at my memories, it's not about standing on top of the podium. It's really coming back and developing that resilience and grit from that tough time.
And that's some lessons that we've seen from our Olympians that are in Paris right now, too. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about women in sports, because we're seeing a big amount of attention from the WNBA to soccer. So many women are out there competing on different fields. What do you think is the main difference for women today and versus when you were out there on the competition field?
Well, I would say in 1996, women were surging then. So many women's teams had dominated during those Olympic Games in Atlanta, Georgia. So there was a great deal of buzz about our achievements and us making history during those times. And I would say today it's just continuing. I think people are starting to see female athletes as role models, not just for young girls, but also for young boys. And it's important for our young boys and our men to see women accomplish great things on and off the field. And so I think it's just going to help increase women's sports popularity, and it couldn't be greater for my 4 kids to be able to see that.
What kind of advice would you have for young ladies who are maybe seeing gymnastics, maybe seeing archery, whatever the sport is that they want to try their hand at?
Well, I love the fact with the Olympic Games you see non-traditional sports. My son is now breakdancing in the hallways of the hotel that we're in right now, and it's because he saw breaking, you know. And then also there's skateboarding. We've been cheering on the swimmers that you don't normally see during non-Olympic years, or even synchronized diving. And I have 4 little divers in my family. My son doesn't want to dive, but he is diving right now. And so I love the fact that these non-traditional sports are taking center stage, and it's really opening the eyes of every young girl and boy that's watching the Olympic Games of, hey, they might not be a professional football player, professional NBA player, what have you, but maybe they can try their hand at a non-traditional sport that's out there for them to thrive and become great at.
All right, so going back to gymnastics, I know you have a gym. Yes. And you have another gym, and there's another one on the way. Yes. Talk to me a little bit about your entrepreneurial path and what the work that your gym is doing for young kids.
Yes, we have 3 locations now. They're all in the DC metropolitan area. It's in the Maryland area, which is where I was born and raised. It's called the Dominique Dawes Gymnastics and Ninja Academy. And really what sparked my interest in starting these academies is when the sport of gymnastics, when the abuses took center stage back in 2012, when the likes of Larry Nassar's name took center stage stage, and 200 plus of his survivors came out and spoke. That really planted a seed in me to want to start a gymnastics gym. I ended up birthing my twins in 2018, and then my husband and I, we just focused on starting our first academy during the pandemic in 2020. We opened our first location then, and it's all about creating a healthy and empowering and encouraging culture in the sport of gymnastics as well as ninja, and to make sure that every young boy and girl that wants to be exposed to this sport will have a beautiful experience where we're lifting up the self-esteem of every single child that comes through the doors, and not adding pressure or pain or a focus on medals and money, but really making sure that they're having a healthy and fruitful experience in this sport. And it's been wonderful, and our third location just got permitted. Yay, finally.
Congratulations.
And so we'll be opening our doors this fall, and I'm so excited to open up more and more importantly about our legacy and the impact that we're going to make.
And maybe some future Olympians will be coming out of the gym as well?
You know, I do not have a highly competitive program. It really is about ensuring that kids have a balanced childhood. I was in the sport of gymnastics for 18 years. I started when I was 6. I retired when I was about 24 years old. It was a grind. I trained 5 to 7 hours a day, and that's not for everyone. And I think there's a lot of parents out there that realize that's not for their children as well. I'm a mom of 4 kids, and I don't necessarily want that for my kids. I want them to have a balanced childhood. I want them to play a multitude of sports. I want them to have other extracurricular activities out in their life, and that's very hard to do if you're making that sacrifice to train for the Olympics. And so my academy is doing things a little differently, and to make sure that the self-esteem of every kid really does matter.
And that's a message in and of itself about competing in sports, that it may not be everything for you.
Well, competing in sports, but maybe it being too high pressure filled. I think youth sports has become a little bit of a business these days, and I think it's important for parents to step back a little bit and make sure their children, number one, are truly loving what they're doing, they have a passion for it, and again, having that balanced childhood really does matter. That's going to lead to, I think, emotional health, mental health, social health, and physical health for your child in the long run.
All right, I have to ask you about the Falcons, because I know you were recently named as a limited partner with the new ownership, with the ownership group. What can you tell us about that? Because football season is almost upon us.
Well, Atlanta has always been like a second home to me, obviously winning gold here 28 years ago. Atlanta's always had a special place in my heart, and I'm excited to be the Atlanta Falcons' biggest cheerleader out there. I'm going to be rooting for them on and off the field, and I look forward to this wonderful opportunity.
I'll be rooting with you. And before I let you go, what are you most looking forward to as we continue to watch the Olympics for the next few days?
Oh, track and field should be starting pretty soon. I think it just started recently, and so I look forward to the track athletes going out there and bringing home gold for Team USA. And then also, again, those non-traditional sports that you typically do not see throughout the year. I look forward to cheering on those athletes, because I understand the sacrifice and the commitment and what it took for these few minutes for them to represent their country. And I want them to know, no matter what, if you bring home gold for Team USA or you don't, we're there rooting for you every step of the way. Because the Olympic Games is an opportunity, especially during these times where there's a lot of strife going on in the world, where we are celebrating man's and women's achievements. And these are opportunities where we get to build memories, lasting positive memories with our families and friends. And it's been 4 years since my last Olympic run. I still get stopped by people today, and they say, thank you so much for what you did for our country in 1996, and you really planted seeds in the lives of many Americans, and that's exactly what these Olympians are doing for us.
You did. I had some girlfriends in a chat talking about Dominique Dawes being there forever GOAT. Thank you so much for spending some time with us today. Well, we really appreciate you.
Great. Well, thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you.